Give me your impressions here. What you saw. Let's start there with the offense. Then we'll get the overall, setting and whatnot.
First off, they didn't have any pads on.
Well, here's the question I have, right? So multiple people who were there today, Barrett, reported that the Eagles' offense did not look good. First of all, I wonder if they're going to catch the hell that Gunner caught, number one. But number two, give me your impressions here. What you saw. Let's start there with the offense. Then we'll get the overall, setting and whatnot.
First off, they didn't have any pads on. It was the practice went. I thought it went very smooth. What you laughing at, man?
Damn, Silio.
That is pretty funny, Miss Gunn, love your office.
There you go. The Media Villain Club. There you go.
But look, hold on. I thought it's protocol on the second day of practice. People understand that when you're on the offensive side of the ball, things go a little slower than the defensive side. The defense will always have one leg up for at least the first week of training camp because it's easier to play defense than it is to play offense. Mm-hmm. You have to have 11 guys working in concert for the play to work. And, it's a little harder to get everybody on the same page on the offensive side of the ball than the defensive side of the ball. So, to me, I thought the offense looked pretty good. There were a couple errant passes, a couple picks in practice, drop balls. All that stuff happens in camp, especially at the beginning of camp. It doesn't run as smoothly as people think. But from understanding and playing the game and seeing the way practice went for the offense, I thought the offense did okay. With the expectation that I know it's hard to get the offense on the same page, everybody working together like one going in, especially with the way they're switching everything around and having all these, groups coming in and out. Jalen's not just throwing to the ones; he's also throwing to the twos and threes also.
But was he? Go ahead. Sorry.
So his first half of practice, I thought he was very sharp, very pinpoint, getting the ball out on time. All that stuff was great. Second half of practice, there were some lulls. But that's to be expected. I thought the second-team quarterback kind of struggled a little bit, and I also thought Carson Strong struggled a little bit. So the two backup quarterbacks struggled. But I really thought for the most part Hurts played pretty well. He had one drive in which he didn't throw the ball as well. But hey, you know what I'm saying? It's just the nature of being in the NFL, trying to get the offense on the same page, trying to get things working. I don't go into it. I don't have a pen and pad going out there and
you're not keeping stats. I got you.
No. I see guys doing it. Out there keeping stats. None of that even matters to me. I watched them run the ball. The offensive line were moving people around. They were quick. They were explosive. Defensive line was doing the same thing. So people also have to understand this. If the defense is making plays, then the offense isn't looking good. When the offense is making plays, the defense is looking good. So, bad practice, good practice. It's just the offense going to have a good practice all the time? No, because the defense may be pretty good. You got to look at it from both vantage points.
So would you say that Hurts was sharp? Were they working on red zone? What were your impressions? I get maybe the defense was playing better or whatnot. Like, was he on target with throws? Balls were dropped. Like, hearing the offense didn't look great necessarily could mean it's not necessarily Hurts' fault. Like, did you feel like he was on point with his throws?
Right. For the most part, I thought he was on time with his throws, knowing where to go with the ball and how to go to the ball. Those were some drops that some receivers had. But I also saw a pick that he was an errant pass he shouldn't have thrown.
Okay.
But it's a learning experience. Maybe he's trying something new that he didn't try before. Mm-hmm. Those are all things. You do that in camp. You try new things in camp. You can't afford to do that during the season. You can't afford to do it in a game type situation. You try these things in camp. See who you can go to, see who you can trust, see where the ball needs to go in practice. If you can fit it there in practice, if you can't, those are all things you worry about in camp. So did he have a bad day? No. Did he have a great day? No. Did he have a efficient day for the most part? Yes.
Okay, interesting. Now, it wasn't strictly red zone or a lot of red zone like it was in the first one? Was it
this was actually 20 to 20.
Okay.
This is actually 20 to 20.
Okay.
For the most part, you know what I'm saying? It's the middle of the field.
What else? What else jumped out at you, Barrett? What good, bad, and different? I mean, practice, by the way, was an hour and 15 minutes. So
Yeah,
they went 17 more minutes than they went the first.
Oh, wow. They're working up a sweat.
yeah, they got a sweat today. I really, really like Epps, man. I really like
a lot
Epps,
of praise for Epps after practice today by his fellow players. FYI.
Yes. Epps played well. I mean, I didn't hear any, I haven't heard anything as far as what the players were saying or anything like that. But I did see Epps. Epps is by far the best safety we have. Just the fluidity of his hips and everything. Harris, I think, he's going to be efficient. He might be the box safety guy. I don't think his hips, role is as good as Epps. Epps can be that middle of the field guy that you can use to, really be the last line of defense. You're going to have to put Epps inside the box. Not Epps, but you got to put Harris inside the box. You got to put the other kid, Taft, inside the box also. Tart inside the box also. He's not one of those fluid safeties either. They ran a lot of big nickel, with the safety at linebacker. TJ Edwards, as I said, is the guy that they're looking to be the starter at the Mike linebacker position. They did have Nakobe Dean outside and playing like that will linebacker position as opposed to a Mike linebacker position.
Yep.
So that's different than what we thought as a defense what he would be doing. I thought he would be inside playing the Mike position.
But at this level, Barrett, I think Nakobe Dean is better suited for the will. I honestly believe he's better suited for the will.
He looked comfortable out there because he had to straddle the line between the box and being out there on a wide receiver in a slot or maybe even wide, when they're trying to, take away the passing lane for a slant play for the wide receiver. So he played out in the middle, played very, very well in space, very fluid in space. I'll tell you what, Davion Taylor, don't sleep on him. Do not sleep on him. He's looking pretty good. Kazir White, I didn't see too much of him. But
how about Kayvon running with the ones?
Kayvon looked okay also. Kayvon looked a little more – he looks the part. Like during drills and stuff like that, I noticed he looks the part. But when I looked at him when he's on the field applying what he did in the individual periods, he kind of got lost in the sauce. I didn't see what he was doing, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he had a bad play that play or anything like that. It just might not have been his play to make. Mm-hmm. But he kind of disappeared when I was watching. But he definitely looks the part when he's doing those drills.
Interesting. All right, so
I love your analysis on everything. But you've known me a long time, and I've always been of the mind that I don't get too hyped when it comes to training camp. Because, like all these people, writers are right. Oh, great throw, great interception, great anticipation. You already know what's going to happen in these environments. See? And so that's why I say, you know what? I reserve the right to be cautiously optimistic or cautiously pessimistic until the bullets start flying for real. Because you don't really know what you're seeing out there. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Because the offense and the defense basically know formations, lineups, and you can get a little jump to a certain degree in certain situations, okay? But all of a sudden, when you're playing somebody that you're not familiar with, you can look at them on film all day, but you're not familiar with them, that's when your true techniques, physicality, agility, ability comes out. Wow.
D-Gun, I'm so glad you say that.
I'm
so glad you say that because when you hear these writers saying, oh, he threw a pick here, he wasn't supposed to throw there. You don't know what the coach is asking.
Exactly.
The quarterback they may have went through that in the meeting room and say, when you see this look, I want you to come to this play right here. I want you to go to this player right here. He might just be executing what that coach is asking him to do. It may have been late or it may have been too fast, but that might be what they're trying to work on. They're working on specific things for their game plan. So you can't just think that you can, all right, you knew exactly what's going on. No, you don't know. Just like I told you, Bobby Hoying. When Gruden left, Gruden told Bobby Hoying, all right, on this play, you want you to throw it right here. on this play, I want you to throw it right here. We be in practice. He throw it right where the coach told him to throw it, and Willie T will pick it off. But then when he got in game-type situations, when the defense doesn't know, Willie T knew how to run our offense. He can go in there and tell you exactly what was going to happen before it happened because he played against his offense all season. But when you got a team that doesn't know, now he says, all right, I want you to throw this play, throw this stick route on this Y stick nod. You throw this stick route, and it'll be cool. So he does it in the game. It's a game. It's a first down. But in practice, it might be a pick. So we never know what exactly or who exactly the ball's supposed to go through or what the anticipation was supposed to be until game-type situations. We'll definitely see it then. That's why, you know, these inter-squad practices, not inter-squad, but those practices where we're going against Cleveland and Miami, they don't know our offense. So that's when you can get an accurate barometer on where they are as an offense and a defense.
Barrett, what's the talk? I know there's been a lot of discussion the last few days in the city in general, whether it's social media, sports talk radio, TV, whatever, about the length of practices. And look, it's really nothing new. They did it last year too, but for some reason it's more of a freak out this year. Again, an hour and 15 today compared to 58 on Wednesday. So what was the talk amongst the media folks or the people down there about how short the Eagles are going? I know Gannon was asked about it, and he said he loves it, Jonathan Gannon. But what was the talk among the people?
Everybody's, you know, they're not in favor of it as far as the media standpoint. But watching practice, they get a lot done in a small amount of time. They don't play around. They get the reps going. You know, as soon as the ball snaps, boom, the play goes on. They're setting the ball. They're ready for another set of plays to go. And they do it so efficiently that, you know, I don't have a problem that they don't have long practices because they're so efficient, especially with no pads on, getting in, getting out, making sure they're getting their work in. They get their work in. They definitely get their work in. I can't wait to put their pads on. That's when I want to see how long practice is, what they're going to be able to do.
When's that taking place, Barrett? Do we know? Have they said when they're going pads?
I don't know. That's why I'm going tomorrow. I'm going to be at practice tomorrow.
Okay.
To see.
Okay.
I'm thinking that they're going to go ahead and strap it up tomorrow. The first day, the third day. This will be the third real practice that they have. They usually go out and hit on the third day. So I think it will be.
Usually,
will be on Saturday.
Usually the PR staff will give the media heads up when the first full day of pads is.
That's why you got to be down there. You got to know, man.
No,
you know you're in the
know
know.
what? No, I ain't going down there, man. You know what? I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna show up one day, unexpected. Oh no, because certain members of the media don't get to go there anymore since they don't work for certain entities anymore. So I gotta find out what list I'm on. I can't wait.
You don't want to know what list you're on.
Why not?
It starts with an S and ends with a T.
Why not? Why not?
Because you stir up trouble, man, and I have to, you know.
Okay, Barrett backed me up somewhat.
He backed you up. He backed you up.
He backed somewhat.
I
can't give him too many props though. It's much better conversation when I go against Barrett.
That's a good point.
You know, look at it where the Eagles are. I think they're a lot more advanced than they were last year. They're a lot more.
They should be
focused. They're getting the job done, man. They definitely look like they know what they're doing. It's not, you know, it's not like it was last year when they were just learning on the fly. They're intense. They know exactly what they need to do. They're where they're supposed to be at. You know, as soon as that horn sounds, they're bam, they're right here. They're supposed to be there. Here. They get to where they're supposed to be. How they're supposed to get there. When they're practicing, they go all out, full speed, every single rep. You can see that. You don't have to worry about them being. I think they're going to be conditioned enough to go play in a game because everything is speed. Everything. You don't see guys walking around. Nobody's walking around on the field. Nobody. You know.
Well, it should be. It should be when the practice is that condensed. It's a little different when you're talking about 2.5 hours, man, because that gets the players mentally and physically after a while. That's when you start seeing players jogging, you know, taking a little bit longer to get from point A to point B.
Yep.
But when you got a short, crisp practice like this, there's no excuse, you know. And if what you're saying is true, that they're getting everything in that they need to get in 58 minutes, an hour and 15 minutes, you know, then they're really not missing anything. And, you know, it worked. It worked for them last year. Now, it took them a little bit longer to get out of the gate, but you have a large core group of players who are now in year 2 of Sirianni's system, so they automatically know what's expected, and the new players that are here have no choice but to toe the line. You know, if they see everybody else hustling, they don't want to be the last one hustling somewhere else. They don't want to be the ones called out, you know. So, you know, you have no choice but to toe the line.
Yeah. Look, I'm willing to give all of this the benefit of the doubt because they weren't a hurt team last year. Now they start off poorly. It's going to be a different story. It's all going to break loose. But everybody you talk to says, Barrett, they condense a lot into a shorter amount of time. And one of the things Gannon said was, you don't see what goes on in the walkthroughs. You don't see what's going on in the film room. Like we're doing a ton of stuff. It's just not as physical as we're accustomed to in years past. Now, other guys like Dan Campbell in Detroit was basically like, yeah, we're going, man. It's on today. So different coaches have different approaches, and that, you know, we're going to see because the Eagles play Detroit week 1, man. So it's going to be a fascinating case study of what which one's more effective.
Sure. It absolutely is, man. It absolutely is. You know, because they look like they know what they're doing. They look like they know what they're doing. There's a lot of stuff that you see on the field that you didn't see last year. They are ahead of the curve as far as knowing what it is to be a Nick Sirianni-based team.
Okay. All right, don't move, Barrett. We're not done picking your go ahead, Barrett. Go ahead, Derek.
Yeah, real quick. You made reference to the fact that Miles Sanders was getting runs with the second team. Was Gainwell with the first team?
Yes. Yes, he had a lot of run with the first team.
That's interesting.
I'm hoping that Sirianni's saying, okay, Sanders doesn't need as many reps as Gainwell because I'm not ready to elevate Gainwell ahead of Miles Sanders. And I mean, I know it's training camp.
We don't know the method to their madness. You know, just like BG. BG ran a lot with the second team.
Yeah, or they're running Gainwell packages. Some of the packages they were running on offense were Gainwell packages. But you're right, Derek. I mean, look, I would be stunned if he wasn't the starter, if Miles Sanders wasn't the number one guy. I would be stunned by that. All right, a lot more of insights from Barrett, who was at practice today. Don't go anywhere. We continue with the football talk. Mike Sealski, by the way, is going to join us at 1 o'clock. We're looking forward to talking to Mike, talk Eagles with Mike. So we could jump around everything. Phillies, Sixers, Flyers, everything. That's coming up at 1. We are wall-to-wall Eagles today, that's for sure. We will continue the discussion with Barrett again, who was down there at practice today. D-Gun, Barrett Brooks, Rob Ellis, don't go anywhere. We're Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. All right, knowing who to trust with your finances can be scary. Yes, it can, because I've been there. All right, I was in the front of that line for a long time, but I found the right person and the right place. That's Jim Murray at Principal Financial Group. His experience over the years has been, for me, just an unbelievable resource, whether it's 401k review, insurance review, you got a small business and you're looking and you need some help with your employee benefits. Jim can be there with you. He can assist you with that. He's done it for me with my IRA, with a 401k rollover. I couldn't be happier. I also love to just pick his brain about trends and what's going on. If we need to change something up, whatever the case may be, he's very proactive and he stays ahead of things. You can give him a call, 610-996-4751, 610-996-4751, or you can email him at Murray, MURRAY.Jim @principal.com. That's Murray.Jim @principal.com.